Yes, people, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all once more finding the time to join me today on Chelsea Perspective for another Bloom edition of the Blue Morning Show. Today, specifically, we will be reacting and analyzing to the manager's selection for our home game against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. And I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. I hope you're all doing well. Without wasting much of your time, we don't have too many news items to discuss, but I think we'll talk about one thing. There are rumors that Chelsea are not interested, seriously interested in signing Victor Gyökeres. For some reason, I do not know. But sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. As usual, I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat before we get started. The official lineup should be out in about 6 minutes or so, and I'm quite sure by now there should be leaks on X or other social media platforms. How people get access to that, I do not know, but we'll probably nail it. I think the area where we'd have issues predicting correctly the manager selection will most likely be the defensive area. We have about 41 people watching, but it looks like nearly 60%, 70 to 70% of those are on Facebook. I appreciate you all following the show. If you're following the show on Facebook or X, formerly known as Twitter, or Instagram, you'd be better off joining us on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. That way you get to win a cash prize, at least of $50 every month. And thank you to all of you that have joined the show on Instagram. I'm sure you heard what I said. If you join us on YouTube and subscribe, you get a chance to win at least $50 each month whenever we're able to do that if you're a student. But we still have 2 more Christmas giveaway to do. I'm just waiting to find the means to settle the person who won the first one for the season before we do the next 2 ones, but we still have time. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let me say hello to people in the chat here before we continue, because we keep it interactive here. Oscar, hi to you, Oscar. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join this particular morning. And that guy, I'm not sure what your name is. When is kickoff? Kickoff is should be in about 1 hour 34 minutes or so. That's the correct calculation there. Telecom Nigeria 7:30 p.m. Is that what it is? I'm not sure. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I hope they start Nkunku for my FPL. Okay, Fantasy Premier League. I think he will start. If he doesn't start, then the manager, people will be people will be bombarding him with questions as to why Nkunku it isn't starting, but I think he starts. It just wouldn't make sense if it's not starting. That's because Palmer will not be playing. What's his name? Palmer will not be playing. He's suspended. Raheem Sterling is also suspended. Raheem Sterling, not that he's that creative, but Enzo Fernandez, who also creates from a deeper position, will not be starting. So we'll be lacking creativity to a concerning rate if Nkunku doesn't start the game. Come on, Chelsea, let's have a win today. And Patricia Gallagher, nice to see you. I appreciate you. And if you can remember, just use only 2-3 emojis. If you use more than that, the machine that's policing the chat will delete your message. I don't like to be talking about a team or club that's not serious anymore. Simon Adwojo, I can understand your frustration, but you have to keep supporting your club. You don't support your club only when they are winning. This is no longer the Chelsea you always fight for. They need you now. Lavia starting, that would be a big risk. I wouldn't call it a big risk, and that's because he's been training for a while now. But in some situations, you just have to make do with what you have. Everybody you can say have to they all have to play a part, for lack of a better language there. But nice to see you, Ty. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And if you're watching, Ty, you know what to do. So when I see it, I'll talk about it so people can go check out your YouTube channel. If we listen today, watch out. Okay, if that's how you feel, Oscar. Yep, Oscar, it looks like you've subscribed to Chelsea Session, so thank you. I appreciate that. Big up to you, to Ty. I personally think Lavia should not start. Here's the thing: he's been training for a while. It's up to the doctors to decide how ready he is, whether starting him would be a risk or not. For me, I'm not a doctor by any stretch of imagination. And if they deem him fit to start, then he should start. Come on, Chelsea, says Joshua Dan, my brother from Rwanda. Nice to see you, brother. Our boys need to give everything today. Come on, Blues, let's go. Let's make it happen. Nkunku starting. Big up, coach. Okay, there you go. Nkunku starting. Silva again. I would have rested Silva, in my opinion. Madueke and Broya on the bench. Okay, Silva, Madueke and Broya on the bench, which means Badia Shile and Axel Disasi starting, which also shows that Malo Gusto will be starting. So that's excellent news. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And quickly, before we continue, I want to take a second to appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we appreciate you. That's because you watching alone does provide great value to the community. I want to say thank you. Just know that we appreciate you. But at the same time, we want to ask you to do us tiny beauty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream. That's because the likes do go a long way for us. The more likes we get, the more YouTube algorithm will be triggered to and get and push it. You will get the YouTube algorithm to push the stream to more people who will be interested in the topics we have lined up here. So we move on. I've refreshed my page. Maybe that may well be the correct lineup, but still they haven't changed the 2-word sentence predicted lineup to a lineup, a single word. Let's see. Silva, Madueke and Broya on the bench, and we have Lavia is on the bench too. The attack is Jackson and Nkunku and Mudryk. Matson also starts. So Matson probably in the 10th position. Wow, interesting. Everybody thinks that he doesn't have a future at Chelsea. That may well be the difference, but we don't know. And Rich Moneymaker, nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. We need to win. Yeah, I'm gonna say we need to win has become your signature or maybe your ID. If you join the show and you don't say that, then I'll be asking question whether that's you or maybe an impersonator. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. 17 likes. And if you're following the show on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Instagram, I'm gonna say this again. You're better off joining us on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. Also, that's because if you do and you're a student, you get a chance to win at least $50 every month whenever we do that. And also, yeah, we still have 2 more giveaways to do for the holiday. You could be emerged as one of the winners. You never know. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. This is still same predicted lineup. I'm going to refresh it again to see if the correct if it says just lineup so I can trust it. And Vic, if you're still watching, if you don't mind, I'd like to see the complete starting 11 to compare to what compare with what I'm looking at on the screen here to see if they're the same or whether I'd have to wait for the go to Chelsea's official Twitter account. Most likely the lineup is has been released at that. Let's see. Still saying predicted lineup. I'll give it a few minutes. Yep, 10:32. It should be updated right now, so I'm not sure what's going on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. How many likes? 19 likes. We should be doing way, way better than that. So let's see what Vic has to say for us. But for the case of having a more visual representation of the lineup, let me see if they have anything on the club's official Twitter account. All right, let's see. Petrovic, Gusto, the Sasiba, the Ashila, the 2 center backs. We suspected that would be, so we nailed that one. Colwell left back. Yeah, we knew that will happen. 2 6s, Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. 10, Ian Matson, I'm guessing. And Nkunku, Mudryk, Jackson, number 9. We knew Jackson will most definitely start. Mudryk, left wing. I'm thinking maybe right wing. there's a chance Nkunku is actually in the one playing in the number 10 position. And even if even if even what we have on the screen here updates and says Nkunku in the 10th position. There's no way to tell until the game starts and we see the application. That's when we get to know who's starting where. That lineup, what on earth approach? I think he couldn't have done much differently, in my opinion. Yep, he cannot have done much differently in terms of the players we have available. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it. Nkunku, 10, Matson, right wing. So is this updated yet? This is said Nkunku 10, Mudryk right wing. I think this has updated because it did update to the names that Vic mentioned in the chat there. Petrovic in goal, two centre backs, Badiashile and Axel Desasi, left back, Levi Kowa, right back, Malo Gusto, two sixes, Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo. Number 10, Christopher Nkunku, left wing, Ian Matson, right wing, Mihailo Mudryk, and number 9, Nicholas Jackson. And on the bench, I think this is correct, but maybe the placement of the players, we're not going to be too sure who starts where until the game starts. And we pay attention to the average positioning of the players. On the bench, we have Alex Matos, Amanda Broya, Noni Madrid is on the bench. I actually expected him to start this one. Nkunku playing in the 10 role, Noni Madrid right wing, not right wing. Yep, Mihailo Mudryk left wing. So this doesn't look good for Mudryk that what's his name? Ian Matson is starting over him. And Leo Castadine, okay. Romeo Lavia on the bench. Alfie Gilchrist on the bench. Thiago Silva on the bench. Lucas Bruxham on the bench. Marcus Bettinelli on the bench. Okay, let's see. Yep, that's the correct lineup here. And said Matson in the left wing position. But once the game starts, we'll find out where each of the players are, the placement of each of the players. And for Crystal Palace, they have Mateta in the 9th position as a 10 role, Olise right wing, Jordan Ayew left wing, two sixes, Richards and Lemar. He starts for them, former Chelsea player. Anderson, the second centre back, Klein, Nathaniel Klein, a former Southampton, I think that's correct. Mitchell left back and Henderson as their goalkeeper. But that's why, anyway, Ty, I'm going to come to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join this particular morning. What do you make of the lineup? I think that's the best actually we can do right now.
And Liverpool.
Sorry? Klein, yeah, did play for Liverpool. Yeah, I agree. On the, what's his name? Former Chelsea Academy manager too. That coach Leicester City, Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you there, Ty?
Um, Honestly, I thought that Matsu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. It looks like this. Go ahead.
Okay, there's a delay. All right. So I was expecting Matson to just well, a part of me thought that he may start. And probably me start in an advanced position rather than as a left back. And I'm starting to think that Pochettino play as a left back. But I do think that somewhat that's a reason why he's he's playing in a more advanced position and probably why he was playing in that position in pre-season. I starting games and this is an opportunity that he should have been granted seeing as Palmer and Sterling are both suspended, so there would not really be anybody to really compete in that position for who are actually attackers. But I mean the lineup is close to what we would have discussed yesterday, so it's not it's not much difference. I don't really have an issue with it because the players that were expected to start are the ones that are starting. Silva gets a rest, and Badashile and Disasi are playing centrally, which is a positive.
Mm-hmm.
and the Gusto is starting. So I have no problem with it. I'm just hoping that it works. I know a lot of people would say that it's one that is concerning because Matson's starting in that position, and it looks like as if Pochettino is experimenting. But I mean, he doesn't really have many options. Madueke is the only other option you really have, who is guaranteed to be in the first team.
Yeah, here's what I'm gonna say, Ty. It looks like your audio is coming. It's not stable. I'm gonna say here's my only complaint here. Every other position on the pitch, we're looking at in that particular lineup right now. There's nothing much he could do, in my opinion. But I don't understand Matson starting in the left wing position. That is, if that's in fact where he will operate when the game starts. I think would be better of playing Mudrik in the left wing position and playing what's his name and playing Noni Madueke in the right wing position. So this to me shows the manager is still a big concern in terms of our defensive how well we've been doing defensive, like, for lack of a better way to phrase that. But it just doesn't make sense. I think whether Matson plays on the left or on the right, Madueke will still feel hard done by, in my opinion. But let's catch up what we have in the chat and now bring in Roger to tell us how he feels about what he thinks about the lineup. Nkunku 10, Matson right wing and left wing. That I think that usually, yeah, I think we've seen Matson in the right wing position before. Left wing, I can't quite remember seeing him in that position. Ian Matson is in the lineup, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a creative serious creative outlet. He has it in him. But the question I'm asking, maybe I'm just in a, you could say, answering Mike, the question I've asked, why he's starting over Noni Madueke. I think he's a better creator in terms of how quickly he releases the ball. And if you make a move, if you make a good run, he will find you if he finds space. Can Jackson score? I hope he scores. Milos, nice to see you. And if you've just joined the show and you're not subscribed to the channel, please try and do so. We'd really appreciate that. Hi to you too, BRZ. Nice to see you. And Bobby is in the house. Nice to see you, Bobby. I appreciate you finally trying to join. Big up on my way to join you. I appreciate you. And let's see what else we have here. We have a big up coach up the Charles. Madueke should have started, and Colwell should play left back. Colwell is in the left back position. I think I agree. Madueke should have started, but I hope he works out. I've tried the best I can not to question the manager's decision until after. Because I'm starting to learn not to question his decisions until after the game. If it doesn't work, then I'll say something, which makes better sense. Because before the games, you can, even if you have some questions, we don't know why what we're seeing is the case until we'll find out. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping. My time is wrong because we're not in the same time zone, Oscar. Let's see what else we have here. Hi, Coach and Blue Family. Jabulani Zumalo, nice to see you, brother. We are winning against Crystal Palace tonight. Our young professionals are gradually gelling into mean machine. Chelsea is rising up. I dare say. Houston, I know we will come good when. I don't know. If it starts today, I'll take it. And let me just speak like Roger. This team is predictably unpredictable. You never know which Chelsea side is going to turn up. You're new. Anyone? We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. That's actually against YouTube rules. That's actually against YouTube rules. And if they get you, your channel will suffer. Anthony Wikesa says Chelsea. Nice to see you, Mr. Anthony. And if again, I'm going to say this: we have 40 people, but nearly 15% of that, or up to 20%, are following the show on Facebook, X, and also Instagram. If that's the case, you're better off joining us on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. That's because every month we do give away to appreciate our followers that are students, but we still have 2 more giveaways to do for the holiday. Yeah, so I would appreciate it if you can I would appreciate it if you can. It'd be better for you to come join us on YouTube and get the chance. Maybe you never know, you'll be the next winner of the giveaway that we do. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Let's see, season's greetings. So all in the chat and on the panel. Thank you, Bobby, for saying that. Chelsea Gold, Junior Marco Verratti. I like your name there. Sad for Madueke. It's a strange decision because we all know Mudryk is a better on the left. So here's the thing. I'm not going to question the manager's decision. He's the one that has led the training week in, week out. So until if it doesn't work, then I'll be asking, and then I'll voice my opinion on you can say who I think should have started in a particular position and not the other one. Let's say hello, anyone who can you tell him that exactly. Let's keep dropping the likes on the stream. Roger Dodger, chairman of the Goalkeepers Union. Let's hear you, brother. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas. Yep, and so you're still enjoying the festival period.
Hey.
Big up, Roger. Big up, brother. Let's
Hello,
hear
gentlemen.
You. Yeah, it's who told me that I'm not going to make a good DJ. I'm starting to believe that.
Seasonal greetings to everyone.
Yeah. Roger, what do you make of the lineup? Any surprises for you? We get it. I think there's not much he could have done. There aren't much he could have done differently. But the question is, Madueke on the bench and Matson starting. What do you think? Do you think it's because Matson is the more creative of the two, or do you think it's just him trying to have more, you can say, balanced approach in terms of having more defensive solidity? Because by default, I know he'd be dropping deep to help Levi Colwell. That may well be it, but we don't know. But let's hear you.
I think it could be a myriad of reasons. Presumably that Madueke isn't fit enough to start 90 minutes. Don't forget, he didn't really have a preseason either. So we have to take that into consideration. Maybe he's only good enough for 20, 30 minutes. One doesn't know. One can only speculate. If it wasn't because of fitness reasons, then I'm a little bit perplexed because I would prefer Madueke, personally speaking, and have Mudryk on the left. I'm actually shocked to see that Nkunku is indeed starting today. I suspected he would have been a sub today, based on his fitness. But obviously, he's been defined, construed as fit enough to start, which is great. That's good news. I just hope we're not pushing forward his starting date. That's all. I hope we haven't. I just hope we're not putting him at risk health-wise. That's all. He'll probably be subbed off around between 60 and 80 minutes, I dare say, but one never knows. I think, listen, I'm looking at the bench more than anything, and it's bare thin. It really is. It's not exactly loaded with Ballon d'Or candidates, is it? It's a very, very thin bench. I'm looking at more so on midfield. You know, Lavia hasn't played a nanosecond all year for us. So who's going to come in at midfield? You know, if we need to, asking these two chaps in midfield to play 90 minutes, that's asking a lot. Especially, I believe Caicedo is just recovering from being sick. So I don't know. I think, you know, as much as people are criticizing our coaching staff for many reasons, he doesn't have much of a pool to actually choose from, in all honesty. He hasn't since day one for the most part. I'm really concerned about the lack of quality on the bench. And when I say lack of quality, I'm talking about most of these people are so young and or have never played in a game. You understand? So that's what concerns me when you look at it. This is a really, from suspension, but also injury, this is a depleted side still. And,
it is.
And it's great to see Nkunku back because you can tell he oozes with class. Oozes.
Oh my goodness, Roger! I'm waiting for one word to still come from your mouth, defining how how it was good to watch him. But just go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, I mean,
that word. I will say it for you.
Yeah, you look at that header he scored with, just the fact that he had to. I can't think of really any other player, possibly Palmer, that could have scored because he had to inject so much power from his neck muscles.
That's also placement. It's also
Well,
placement.
obviously, but
Yeah.
to do so with a ball that required a lot of neck muscle exertion, he's technically so sound, and this is something we've lacked. In case you hadn't noticed, I would slightly put him just ever so slightly ahead of Sterling in the air. You know, I'm joking, of course. It's just, yeah, he's refreshing, but we have to surround him in cotton wool. I fear for him, you know, getting bitten by a fly right now, because he's by far head and shoulders the
And
most
he
clinical
didn't even
person we
start
have.
the game. He played just a few minutes, and
Yeah, and this is
yeah.
why I hope we're not, prematurely starting him. This is my only concern. But listen, everybody else is pretty much what is suspected. I was somewhat suspicious that Matson may start, but I didn't want that to occur because of Madueke. But I'm just hoping Madueke is okay, because
And Texas as a professional and not feel hard done by, right?
yeah, listen, I rate him. I really do. He's raw, but he's
I
less
rate
raw
him
than
too.
Madueke. I'm sorry, than
Mhm.
Mudryk. He really is. I think his crossing, as I've said from day one, watching him play for England, he gets to the byline and he's got a good right foot for a predominantly left-footed individual, which is not the norm for most left-footed people. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I've dropped.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll come to Bobby in a bit. Yes, Roger is in the house and understands the game well. Every time I see you and Roger is on the panel, I'll ask you for ticket money, honestly. Or you could say admission money. But I have my bro in the house, Srinath Govindarajan. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're enjoying the festive period, always supporting the community. I cannot thank you enough. But here's to you, brother. I appreciate you so much. And Shurinat says, my brother Kachila, big up for your effort. Tough tides make the best sailor. Wow. I love that. That's the delicious comment of today. Being a true blue is not for everyone. Hang in there, like and subscribe, people. That the team needs us now, and that's why they call us the 12th man. They need us even when they're struggling, not only when we're winning. That's not when you're a Chelsea fan, not when your team struggles and you use it to grow your community or to banter the players, banter the heck out of, you could say, abuse the heck out of the owners, banter, abuse the players, abuse of fellow community members who thinks otherwise, who thinks that things will get better. So I agree with you. They need us now, and we have to be that. That's not me saying we shouldn't criticize them when they don't do well, but sometimes we overdo it. It just seems as if some of us content creators or fans are, you can say, praying for the club to fail. So you say, you see, I was right. I said this was going to happen, and now it has happened. So, bro, thank you for keeping it positive. I appreciate you. Let's see what else we have here. Lavia and Madrick and Matos are good talent on the bench. Okay, let's see. Rich Money Makers, thank you for saying that. Support the players and the staff. That's what you do. You can whine, cry, climb a pole and jump from there. You still won't change anything. Big up to you too. Nice to see you, JC. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope Nkunku scores and assists. Slim agent. I want to see that too. I have spoken to a friend of mine, okay, that told me Nkunku is a very talented. We don't really need your friend to tell us that. And here's what I think Roger missed. Roger missed the way he took the goal. It was sexy. Roger didn't say that today.
Dead sexy.
Yeah, exactly. This good news. He is up. I think he's a different sort of player. Don't remember, was Lavia on the bench against Wolves? I think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He even warmed up and we thought he was going to come in. Hey, Ty, saw your preview video. Very good presentation and analysis. Yeah, Ty, when you get I think, I don't know, people will people still watch it? because the show, by the time we end the show, will start. The game will start. Sorry about that, Ty. Let's see what else we have here. What else do we have? Pochettino wants bodies in the midfield, and if we want to protect Nkunku, we need to start Matson in place of Madueke. That's thoughtful, actually. We don't want him to overwork himself. Good day, everyone. Good day to you to Jump Out Entertainment. My friend has been watching Nkunku and he will change Chelsea. Yeah, we don't know him. And thanks to your friend, we will get to know more about Nkunku today. Much appreciated. Yep. Ty, you know what to do. To be honest, Kachila need to be to be watching out. Youth talent is catching up fast. Well done, Ty. Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. I'm not sure how to respond to that. But I think you're saying the truth. I think what you're trying to say there is how good Ty is. He understands football very well. His analysis always spot on. And
Yep.
Ty is not into following the tide. Or let's say everybody's on the left. Let me go stand on the left too. And in the process, he's lost a few subscribers. And I've told him, yeah, it will happen. But the bigger numbers will come because you're not there to tell people what they want to hear. You're there to speak the truth. And you grow like that even better. Yeah, the fair weather ones who joined your channel because you said what they want to hear, they will always leave. That's a day I lost nearly 30 subscribers for saying something, but I'm not going to get into that. Subscribe to Chelsea Sessions, and that's Ty's YouTube channel. Believe me, you will not regret it. That delicious content there. And I think he's releasing more videos these days. Maybe he has a bit of space, so better not miss out because once school starts again, yeah, it will be a bit scanty here and that. Let's hear what else we have to do. Say here, Reece James Kingdom Potch out. Okay, if that's how you feel. Let me put it this way. What I saw on his video is that he wasn't looking for tap. Just go away. He was balling. Just go away, man. Go back to work. For the way Poch has treated Madueke, just so sad. I don't blame him entirely. He's had injuries that hasn't helped. But I think he will get his chance, and there's a good play in him. I'm gonna come to you, Bobby. I appreciate you finding time to join us on the panel here. And by the way, a good video with Jerry Z there. I will urge people to go watch it. If Jerry has the time, he should share the video here. I know you said you're not a club historian, but no better person than you or Max to you can say to discuss such a topic about Bobby, the lineup. I know you've seen it. Yeah, what do you think? Let's get your 2 cents.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, season's greetings again to everybody. Yeah, I had a great time with Jerry Z last night. It was, to me, a privilege and opportunity to even be given the platform to speak about the club I love so much and have given up what most people don't know, a considerable amount of my life in almost service of. But that aside, look, the lineup is nothing less than I expect. I don't think he could do otherwise. Before I even talk about the lineup, it seems clear to me now that Chelsea fan base is infected with followers and what is called brown envelopes. You know, there are a lot of content creators that are just followers. They're looking for the scandal. They love the negativity. I mean, the brown envelopes have recently just pushed out some information which is worthless information at this point in time, that it will take 50 million for Chelsea to agree to sell Gallagher this January. I mean, come on, that doesn't even sound true in view of the situation we're in. Chelsea needs its supporters now. Those of us that lived in the days where Grimsby will come to Stamford Bridge, where there were less than 10,000 fans in the stands, and we were still singing and chanting for the club, will understand what a bad time is. I don't want those times again, but that's support. You support your club when it's hard. Those that went and were putting money in buckets outside the stadium when there
Yep.
was a threat of bankruptcy in the club. Those that bought the pitch to prevent the property developers from dismantling and buying off Stamford Bridge and selling it off in pieces. The supporters have fought for this club from day one. Those that played for the club in the world wars and went off, many died and came back again. They didn't have to play football again, but they loved Chelsea and came back and played for Chelsea for nothing. People don't remember. And I'm so privileged to have been given the opportunity to mention some of these things last night. Look, Chelsea needs us now, as you've said, Coach. It needs its supporters. We have an unprecedented series of injuries. So much so that even a journalist, the journalists that hate us so much and are so disingenuous, actually reminded Pochettino that he has had between 8 to 12 injury absences every single game since he started from day one in the Premier League. And these are injuries that have befallen Chelsea for the past 3 seasons. Today, Chelsea have 16 injuries out, two major suspensions, not to mention half the players on the bench that are still coming back from injury, and we're just hoping they can manage to play. Lavia, who knows how long he can play. I see part of the reason Madueke is on the bench is that he's coming back. And to be honest, I think that's the right call because, as you've rightly said, not only can Martin drop in and help a bit in midfield better than Madueke, but Martin also has a good pass in terms of creating and he has an eye for goal. So I think that's a very good call.
Yeah,
And
he's
let's
actually
hope
an
he
excellent finisher.
yeah, he's a good finisher. Let's hope he
Mhm.
can live up to that. And also, people have forgotten that in pre-season, the trio of Martson, Nkunku, and Jackson tended to work well. And they did very well together. Whether they can repeat that, who knows? But it's worth a shot because we've got nothing else. We are going through an injury crisis that would affect even the best of clubs. I mean, goodness me, Manchester City started losing games when Rodri was out for a couple of weeks, not to mention the fact that they don't quite look the same without Kevin De Bruyne. We haven't had our captain and captain more or less through the season. We've had bits of them half fit and they've been limping around, and it has been a struggle. So we, the fans, the supporters, not the followers. I don't expect anything from them. They'll continue their negativity and trying to post things that they want the scandal to be all around Chelsea. These are the people that are invested in negativity around Chelsea. This is what they love. This is what they want. And this is why they continue doing it. The fans, we know who they are. The fans talk about the reality. Before we talk of get rid of Pochettino, the owners this, the owners that, we're looking at the situation live on the ground. And ultimately, what has affected the Chelsea progression has been the blight of injuries. That is just QED. Now, can we get through it? We can pray. Do we have a chance today? Who knows? We could win, we could lose. We're just there supporting like we were back in the day. So, answering your question, what do I think of the lineup? I don't think he could do any better. I'm glad
Mhm.
he's put Thiago Silva on the bench. He needs to be on the bench. And he's an option to come on a bit later if needed, which gives us a bit of depth in the defensive positions. I can't think of anything else he could do in view of the absentees. Actually, I look at it and it doesn't look quite bad. It's too bad. Although I am concerned about Caicedo. I'm not convinced that if you've had a virus, those of you that all of us, we know what it's like when you've had a flu. You're not quite right a few days afterwards. You take quite a while to become your old self. So I'm not sure he will be able to give us, some long busting performances that he's going to have to give. That's where my concern is, the midfield. And Crystal Palace will be aware of that and they'll try and swamp us there. Can we withstand it? Well, time will tell. We've got Gilchrist on the bench. We've got Lavia. Well, if we can get 20 minutes out of him, In what shape, I don't know. I would rather see Gilchrist come on because I think he would do more. He's fresher, he's younger, but yet again, inexperienced. Inexperience has been the bane of the club all season. We have to be patient for the integration to take place and for the experience to bed in. So we watch in hope today.
Sorry, we're watching Hope today, and I agree with you that there's not much the manager could have done differently given what he has available and what he has at his the players he has at his disposal. Are you guys going to show the match yet? No, we don't do that, Mr. Anya. Sorry, but I had him. Yeah. Sorochi, let's see what else we have here. Breaking news of the board are looking at this game and the Luton game with microscope to see what is going on the pitch. The latest I have heard that Poch cannot lose tonight at any cost. I disagree with you. But let's see what happens. Hopefully we don't lose. Yeah, thank you for telling him that. Ty Poch out. Okay. Cowell, keep Cowell at left back. And what else could he have done differently? Maybe. Yeah, the argument is still there that actually Martin can stand in the left back position and we can do something else differently in the attacking area. And just quickly, we have 80 people watching and nearly 55% of that on Facebook or Instagram. And X, formerly known as Twitter. If you're following the show in any of one of those platforms, you better off joining us on YouTube here, subscribing to the channel on YouTube, and that's because we do monthly giveaway for to appreciate our members who are students whenever we can. So you never know, you could emerge the next winner. But let's see, John Pot saying here, facts, Roger. Okay, I understand that Poch isn't helping himself. Okay, is that what you understand? Okay, that's you. Some of them commenting would have never been supporting Chelsea 20 years ago. You could say that. Welcome, Bobby. Bobby saying that somebody saying hello to you. Big up, Chimera. Big up, Coach. Get your heart rate monitors ready. Oh my goodness. Let's see what happens. We knew Nicholas Jackson was to start. If you think otherwise, then you've not been paying attention to the manager's selection, you can say process, or maybe the pattern to his selection process. We miss having a left back. I think there's a chance we'll go for a left back in January. Let's see. I don't know. Hello to you to temper your expectations. Please sack the mediocre Poch. Finito, but nice to see you, Adebayo Makunju. I hope you're doing well. All I wonder from our boys is 8 out of 10 effort. And the good news that Palace will sit back most of this game. That's an issue. That's not good news for me. We just need to concentrate on set piece. And the Palace has only scored 1 set piece goal this season. I don't like to hear such stats because it scares the heck out of me. And the fact that we've beaten them in how many games? In 12 games in total. Let's see. 22 games in meetings in total. They've won none. Yeah, the most they've gotten nothing actually. Yep, look at it. They've won none in 20. We've won 18 times. They've won 14 times. Sorry, forget my calculator. I'm very poor in mathematics. So what I'm getting to here, that will most definitely be a winner. We've won more out of the 22 meetings. We've won 18 times. They've won just 4 times. No draws. So most definitely there's going to be a winner, and I hope we emerge the winner. And I don't like the fact that in the last 12 games, I think the last 12 games in total, we've won all of them. They've won none. Go ahead, Ty. Were you saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that there's a first for everything. This could be a draw. Could be the first draw, considering the state of the place.
Yeah, you can also talk about the law of averages. So yeah. We will see on the pitch. Technically, it can be any shape, even a 3-4-3. We don't know. Yeah, until we take our time to observe the average positioning of each player. That's when we'll be able to say for sure that's the structure we're playing with. Ben Constantine, nice to see you. Chelsea is winning tonight. Up to Chelsea. I hope we do that. Rich Money Makers. Okay. If Pochettino loses, no certainty he'd get fired, and the board can keep its microscope. I like that particular comment there. I don't think they'll fire him now because the numbers show you can say I would say this. It's not been perfect, but numbers show that there are other reasons why we're struggling, and that's not down to him. And if you're living under the rock, a lot of the players we've had out injured, part of it. I'm not sure what else to tell you. I think the players will turn up today, and it's a big game for Jackson. It has always been a big game for him. Hopefully, he does well today. Shame that Palmer cannot play, but hope Nkunku doesn't pick up an injury. Yeah. And nice to see you again, brother. I hope you're doing well. Roger, I'm going to come to you. Let's discuss why you think. Let's hear you. I think Bobby has spoken about that. I think Ty has also. But let me hear you. Why do you think Matson is starting on the left-hand side? Let's assume that this will be the structure throughout the game if it's not a hybrid approach. Why do you think he's starting on the left and not on the right, while Mudryk, who's used to playing on the left, to stay on the left? But let's hear you.
It's hard. It's all Ronnie's doing is assuming or hypothesizing. I would suspect it's because of the lack of fitness for Madueke. As I said, he hasn't had a preseason. He's only played a few limited minutes, so the coaching staff are probably being rather conservative with his man management, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. I don't believe he's probably fit enough to start. So if he is, and he's chosen him ahead of, I would suspect that it's basically because of strategic reasons, because of defensive responsibilities, because one of the things that I would say is Noni Madueke's shortcomings is his, shall we say, defensive responsibilities in recognizing them. That's happened on occasion, and that's only natural based on the lack of experience. So that's the norm. So it's either going to be one or the other, or possibly both. So I suspect that to be the case.
I don't know, Ty, you have anything to say about that? It's not even there. Bobby, let's Bobby, let's hear you. What changes do you expect to see? Do you expect to see Romeo Lavia, for instance, come on for who? If you think it's gonna, I think he will get minutes today. That's because he's been ready for a while, and if my memory serves me right, I think the last time the manager said it would take 10 days for him to be ready to play, I think we're beyond 10 days right now, which means I would see him. But who comes off? I'm not too sure. But let's hear you, Bobby. Who do you think comes off if Romeo Lavia, if the manager decides he wants to give him a few minutes, which I think he'd do. He wants him to get a few minutes out from this game. But let's hear you, Roger. And who else do you think comes on for who?
Yeah, I think he will get a run out, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 15. I don't think it should be more than 20. He needs to have, a short burst of his lungs, and then, his muscles, and bit by bit. I think he will. Now, for who? It depends on how the game's going. If we are in a good position and Pochettino wants to be a bit cautious, he might take off a more forward player, either Modric or indeed Martson, and bring him in to shore things up defensively, knowing that he's one midfielder along with Gallagher that can have an offensive threat. Indeed, even Caicedo, if the opportunity arises, can have an offensive threat, as well as playing solid with protecting the back. So he could do that later on with him. Another player that might come on, I don't think he's not been very keen on using them. I don't know if Washington's on the bench. I think it's Matheus that's
It's
on the
not even
bench.
on the bench. The bench is Alex Matos, Amanda Broya, Noni
Yeah,
Madueke, Leo Castadine. I don't
Castella,
even know him. And what
Casadine.
position?
I think he's a midfielder. They might bring on Casadine if they want more creativity and more in the offensive midfield area. Broja could get a run out. That all depends on what Jackson does. In fact, no matter what Jackson does, Broja needs a few more minutes to come on. So we have options, even with the depletion, depending on how the match goes. My concern is still the midfield. We know that Gallagher will run his lungs out. He's going to have to, because I don't know how much Caicedo has to give. One person that certainly
Exactly.
would be on the possible substitution list because of his health will be Caicedo for Lavia, who's coming back, quite likely. So the permutations are there. He can be creative with his changes, but we have to hope that the game goes well. Badiashile has had some, clumsy moments. He needs a full run today. He needs the whole 90 minutes. All this is to help him get those errors out of his game, get back into the flow of full fitness. This is all that's happening. I don't know who's left back. I think that's Colwell, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah.
Colwell. Okay, yeah, we're going to need that physicality and that defensive ability, because you've got people like Eze and or Olise coming at you. You need good defensive ability on the wings. Gusto's quite good at that. I mean, we have a chance today. It all depends on how things go, what our composure's like, and whether we have learnt anything from our terrible performance at Wolves, which I think we will learn something. But Crystal Palace are a well-rehearsed team. They're a good team. They're not going to come to joke at Stamford Bridge, and they will see this as an opportunity. So let's wait and see what happens. But we do have a chance. We do.
Yes, then, given Roy Hodgson's experience as a manager,
Yes.
um, I'd say I'd be shocked if he hasn't been paying attention, uh, again, how teams that we struggle to play against, how they played. It's very experienced, very intelligent manager, and I think he will adapt a similar approach and try to exploit our vulnerabilities, which have been exposed when we play against teams that defend deep. And he has the pace and the intelligence, and you can say the creativity to do some damage against us if we don't pay attention. But that
Yeah.
shows why it's important that we play with good balance. Go ahead, Bobby, if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I mean, that hitting on the break is what they did to Man City, isn't it? When Man
Yep.
City went 2 goals up and they drew 2-2. Albeit, I think they're a bit fortunate to have got the second goal to level things up with very little time left to play. But I think he will no doubt try that, to hit on the break. They do have the players for that. I don't really look at Crystal Palace as a low block kind of team. I've not really felt they're that type, but as you said, Roy Hodgson is a wily old coach. He's been around a long time. He will play the defensive or, offensive fast break game. He's good at that. He's done it all his career. He certainly did it with the Swiss national team and various other teams he's been with, Liverpool, all of them. So I can expect that. Will it work out for them? It might do. It might be their Achilles, because that's what someone like Mudrik would like. You hit on the counter and then you lose the ball, and the ball's over the top and Modric's away. So it's going to be an interesting game. I don't know. I can't say I'm confident at all, but I can say we have a chance if we play this game accordingly. We could get something out of it, and Palace is the kind of team that I think, um, if we start to get on top, especially if we start scoring, that they'll get a bit confused. Because one thing about Chelsea at the moment is that no matter how experienced a coach you are, it's very difficult to know for certain how to get them. You play low block, these guys, they create a lot of chances. And it's only a matter of time for them to start putting away some of these chances.
Hmm.
You play offensively, and they have the players that may be able to match you. So it's a bit of a conundrum. That's why teams, when they start off playing against Chelsea, this Chelsea, they're usually quite cautious. They're usually feeling to see where they think the weaknesses are. I don't know. Is it on Sky TV? I don't know, but it'll be an interesting watch.
Yeah, it will be.
It's
I
on
think
Amazon
Matson
Prime.
On
Amazon
Amazon
Prime.
Prime.
Okay.
Wow, in the UK.
Yeah.
I think Matson should be on the right and Mudrik on the left. I think so too, but for reasons we've explained, probably to help Colwell, who isn't traditionally a left back, to help him. You can say I'm not sure how else to explain it, but we'll find out. Poch has to improve his players' team management. Okay, we'll find out. Let's see you out in the blue. Beautiful game. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. And Constantine Dante, we haven't seen you for 2 shows in a row right now, and that's unusual. I hope you're doing well. And quickly, IBZ, if you're watching, we haven't forgotten about you. We hope you're recovering well. Love the experimental lineup from Poch. Not hands tied or not. If we lose this game at least he wouldn't be left scratching his head, probably scratching his ooh if he had any. Go away. I'm going to heaven, and you're not gonna make anything different happen. Gonna, I'm not gonna like scoring against Palace. Next time I'm gonna read your comment for us to know whether I should welcome you in a special way or not. Wow, indeed. Let's see. I hope Nkunku does not get injured. I hope so. I think they've managed to return well. They didn't rush him back. I think he should be fine. It's just about past to start this game, so he could be subbed in the second half. I think with tonight do the low block because they fear Nkunku and don't fear Jackson. Okay, let's see. I hope they don't fear Jackson. Maybe that will lead to him getting a chance to do some damage against them. Yeah, but I hope we don't receive and yeah, whooping there, like you said. Courtesy of Amazon Prime with free delivery. It's too late to cancel the order. Yeah, it has to happen, right? Jackson Nkunku much impactful so that Jackson can copy his style of a clinical. And that's Ayuba Tahil. Nice to see you. I think a lot of people believe that Jackson and Nkunku would do well given how well they did together during the preseason game. But we'll find out today. So, Ty, you want, I don't know if you've spoken about why Matson is on the left, if in fact he's on the left hand side.
Um, Not in entirety. I would have mentioned it slightly, but I wouldn't have gone into details on it. And yeah, Pochettino would have confirmed that he's actually playing in a wide attacking position because he was asked in the interview when he explained the lineup and why Nkunku is starting. He would have said that he played there in preseason. I would have seen a few matches of Matson at Burnley. I would have seen the fact that he was playing a more advanced role there. So the defensive aspect of it wasn't really a necessity for him, but obviously you'd have to chip in to make it a united front of defending against the oppositions. I think that Pochettino looks at what he can do from an offensive point of view and perspective that if you play him there, he can get an assist, he can be creative, and he can also have an offensive impact. So I think that as a result, he's playing there due to that. If he's playing on the left or right, I would like to think that he will be on the left because, and I think I'm not sure if it was Roger who alluded to it or it was Bobby, but it would be a case where you need somebody on that side with Levi Cole. We're aware that Levi Cole has struggled to play as a left back, and in all fairness, you can't really fault him for that because that's not his natural position. He hasn't played there prior to now. But I'm not sure if he would have played there in a hybrid system on at Brighton, but I'm sure he didn't do that consistently. So I think you need Matson on the left so that he can facilitate Levi Cole feeling some level of support because we've seen that he struggled and he's isolated on that side. So
Mhm.
I think that in that sense he would be on the left. I know that the structure there and the way that it's set up on Footmob or on other
Mm-hmm.
websites, it shows that he's on the right. I think Mujik is better on the left, and I think Pochettino would agree with that because all of his goal contributions have come on that side. He scored a goal against Arsenal on that side. He scored his first goal for Chelsea on the left, and he also made made some good passes on the left. So I think he's perhaps playing on the left. But I would like to think that Maxson is getting the opportunity on the left, because I think it's an experimental lineup. It's a formation change, I would like to think. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I would prefer him to be on the left, but I somewhat think that he's playing on the right because Mujic is more influential on the left.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons why I asked that question. Before we round off, Roger, what sort of game should we expect? And by the way, I know people don't usually talk about this, speak about this meetings between Chelsea and Crystal Palace as a London derby, but it is one actually. Probably maybe the disparity between the sizes of the two clubs, for lack of a better language there. But Roger, let's hear you. What sort of game do you expect?
I expect a typical Chelsea performance in regards to plenty of possession. Question is, as always, add water, rinse and repeat. Do we take our chances? It's that simple. Are we clinical? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. Traditionally, recently, that has not been the case. You know, I'm actually really interested to see how Petrovic plays today. You know, we haven't really mentioned him, but don't forget, this is only his third start, second in the Premier League. So he's still, you know, in virgin territory. So I hope he continues his rich vein of form, so to speak. And I'm looking forward to watching him play. I really am. I'm pleasantly surprised with him, but I just want to see it. And Bobby's right. I'm glad to see that Silva is rested today, because it's important that he be rested for obvious reasons. And I just want to see us. I'm really worried about Caicedo, but I'm really hopeful to see how we operate in the midfield. And I just hope we finish the game with 11 men also. You know, that small technicality. I want to see us more disciplined, coach. I want to see a more professional attitude and approach to this game, something that we haven't really seen consistently this season.
Yeah. In a minute, Bobby, you want to add to that so we can call it a day? And don't forget, guys, we'll have a members only halftime show. So I'm going to share the link by the time we get to there. Go ahead, Roger. Bobby, anything else you want to say before we call it a day? All right, it looks like Bobby's gone. So with that, I want to say thank you to all of you that have found the time to join us on the panel. Bobby, Roger, and Ty, much appreciated. Bro, I hope you get
Enjoy the game,
soon.
everybody.
Yeah, enjoy the game. I know you will get there. BIZ, nice to see you. I appreciate you. And the beautiful game, somebody I don't like at all. To all of you in the chat and keeping it real, Chelsea, go check out his YouTube channel also. And Debaya Markun Jude JC. All of you, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and bye.